Hi Libra, this is Kay, and you're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome to your reading and welcome back to the channel. Let's get started. Let's find out what Archangel Michael wants you to know today. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, thank you. What is it that Libra needs to know? The Witch's Cottage. Cute. The Witch's Cottage. I just finished watching that Hansel and Gretel show. Not the one where they're already like teenagers or early 20s. Just when they're still quite young. Yeah, that was pretty weird movie, but good. Okay, the Witch's Cottage. I will read what that is. But let's get the rest of these out first. That's card number 4, by the way, so it's about establishing a solid foundation in something. In your thought processes, your belief systems, or something in the external world. The Phoenician, like the phoenix, I guess. Find your balance and fulfill your karma. Fairness, dignity, and integrity. You will receive what you deserve. This is Justice card. Crowning accomplishment. Justice card with the Witch's Cottage. Very good. Let's get a clarification for you, Libra. Hope you're all doing well, by the way, and that you had a good weekend. And then we have the Empress. Okay. Empress card. Energy. All right. Let's get the Lenormand. And then we'll read the Witch's Cottage. What Lenormand, Archangel Michael? Message. It's the one? Well, look. We have lady number 1, it's the Queen of Cups to me. She's got the rose. She's waiting for gentleman number 1 who's also got the rose. And he's waiting for her. Okay, very good. Let's find out what the Witch's Cottage is about for you. Okay, that's not it. Where's the squares? Okay, excuse me. The Witch's Cottage is a dangerous place, whether it's a house made of gingerbread like the one the witch inhabits in Hansel and Gretel, okay, or a hut that can run on a pair of chicken legs. Okay, excuse me guys, such as that occupied by Baba Yaga in Slavic folklore. Inside the cottage, the fairy tale heroine is tested by the witch, and during the course of that testing is forced to face her worst fears. What the experiences inside the witch's cottage is a profound initiation. If she gets out of the place alive, she'll be forever changed and she'll be forever stronger. And she does. Gretel, she saves her brother. Everything is at stake in stories where the action takes place inside the witch's cottage and there's no room for error. The witch tends always to be hungry, and in her kitchen there might well be an enormous oven in which the visitors who fail her test can be roasted and eaten. The rules of engagement are a little different in the witch's cottage. You'll need somehow to win over the witch and make her trust you so that you have a chance to trick her and escape. If you can't, a roasting in the big old oven might be your fate. What does the witch's cottage look like to you? What are the fears that you need to face? Those that lurk inside it, and how will you overcome them? Now, it's very interesting that I just watched it last night, and here it shows up in the first reading I'm doing today. Very, very synchronistic. What does it mean, though? What does it mean? So the heroine, right, which is the Empress. Here, the lady number 1 holding the rose. She is like the Queen of Cups. Lady number 2, I see more of being like the Empress because she's vulnerable. She's bare-chested. But this lady number 1 who's wears her heart on her sleeve. She's not afraid to, and possibly that is the lesson, is about being able to wear your heart on your sleeve, Libra, which would be like the Empress, because there's all four queens are in the Empress energy. So if the Queen of Cups wears her heart, you know, fearlessly on her sleeve, she's okay with being vulnerable. She's okay because she's very well grounded and balanced in her emotions. Like, she has emotional intelligence. She's very well in the different levels of emotions, and she knows how they can easily, you know, get out of sync with her, with what's going on. Like, she can become too emotional or not enough emotional at the appropriate times. So she knows how to keep her emotions stable, in control, emotional intelligence, which allows her to be emotionally available, you know, and vulnerable, because she allows herself to put her emotions out there to the world without fear that she's going to have any repercussions or rejection. Because even if she does, even if she runs into people who want to take advantage of it and have repercussions of it, or they reject her in some way, she's like, okay, I understand. Like, okay, that was a little bit like ouch, right? A little bit of ouch, but instead of getting all messed up in the emotions and being like feeling angry or upset, like depressed or just sad and stuff like that, she might for like just a little bit of time, and then she's back up there again in her emotional stability, because she understands what the experience was teaching her about having that emotional stability. Okay, so justice will prevail, which is that balance with fairness and equality. So whatever happens with the heroine in the story of the Witch's Cottage, she figures out that she has to become emotionally stable. She has to rein in her emotions, because she's first of all, she's come from a village where her mother lives and cannot afford to feed herself, let alone her two kids, Hansel and Gretel. They've been kind of ostracized from the village, so they're expected to go out into the woods and survive it, you know, basically take care of themselves. And they come across the cottage, the Witch's Cottage, and then the real test starts. So other than being like afraid of what is the mystery or the unknown, like what the witch can bring into her experience, other than fearing it, she actually digs into, like, the witch actually teaches her to become more powerful. Instead of seeing herself as a victim, or instead of seeing herself as being incapable of being able to take charge, like to access that inner power, that great power within, which is the soul, of course, the strength and the courage, that she's able to harness and actually use the energy from her hands to make things move, to make things basically at her command. It does what she's mindfully asking it to do, and that's how she ends up saving her little brother and herself as an outcome, right? As a result. So she uses her power, she wields her inner power, and she figures out how to do that by no longer fearing, which means allowing herself to become a little vulnerable, but knowing that vulnerability, to be standing in that vulnerability, is actually a power to use, like to harness and put to good use, right? So anyways, that's like the story of the moral of the story of Hansel and Gretel for that particular show. Like I said, it's interesting. You just watched it last night. Here we are. I'm talking about it. Wow. So stepping into the Empress energy, where everything is in balance. She comes out of the Witch's Cottage like this. She is asking to become this, like the Queen of Cups, the one who's in control of her emotions. This would be you, Libra, in asking you to become more vulnerable, to see that fear is a necessary part of human of our human experience. However, we are to overcome it, overcome the fear, which I call ego. Ego is what, either we have the ego at the helm of our mind, or we have love at the helm of our mind. And ego is fear, and then there's love. So there's only the two emotions. In reality, there's only one, which is love. But in the sub-reality, there's only two emotions. Everything is, everything that would be considered fear, like being frustrated, being bored, being anxious, being afraid, of course, being angry, mad, depressed, whatever, you know, the ego or the fear umbrellas all of that, and anything that's good and positive, love umbrellas any emotion that you would describe as being like, I feel content. I feel contented right now. I feel satiated. I feel happy. You know, I feel secure. I feel safe. I feel I'm in command. I have control of myself. All those things, the positive things, that's love umbrellas that. So it's either at any moment in time, Libra, you're either allowing the ego to be in charge of your thoughts, you know, producing thoughts of fear, or allowing love to produce thoughts of positive thinking, right? Positive, loving thinking, compassionate, gentle, that sort of stuff. And we oscillate back and forth on that all the time, from fear to love, fear to love, fear to love. But when you are stepping into this kind of energy, which then the level up is the Empress energy, that's being totally in charge and control of all your qualities, all qualities of an Empress, right? That makes her the Empress. The quality here is about love and being stable in that, secure in that. You're being asked to step into this energy of the Queen of Cups, where you are finding stability in not fearing what what you don't know, which is a mystery, which the witch can represent, and fear of that which you believe is real. Like, for example, you fear that somebody could reject you. You fear that because if you put your heart out there, someone might, trample all over it, use it as a doormat, and just take advantage of it or manipulate you, and some hurt you, and you don't want that, and probably have been hurt already enough times, more times than we need to care to count, right? So it's about yes, you're going to, every time you put your heart out there, there's always that risk. But when you get yourself into an understanding of who you really are, as powerful as you are, which is the witch in Hansel and Gretel wants you to know, wants you to communicate with and to engage with, like as a best friend that's in you. Once you understand the power that you are from within, you start to integrate the knowledge that you are actually quite the opposite of what you might be thinking you are. And as you begin to see that in yourself more and more, the less and less rejection would even bother you. Okay? The less and less rejection or hurt or pain would even bother you. First of all, it won't even follow you. But if it does by chance follow you because you get yourself engaged with somebody who might be a little unscrupulous, that shows up with a mask on that says, the mask says, I'm safe. Oh my goodness, I forgot my microphone. Sorry guys. A mask that says, I'm safe, and don't worry about me, I will never hurt you or harm you. And then next thing you know, the mask has fallen off, and you see that they really aren't what they said they are. And now they're hurting you, right? They're hurting you. And I don't necessarily mean physically, I mean emotionally hurting you. Might be saying nasty things to you, so mental abuse as well. So there's always the potential for that because people are unscrupulous, obviously. And so we can always run into characters like that. But when you are stable in your emotional control, you, number one, most often won't be attracting unscrupulous people like that, but if by chance you do, you are able to turn the cheek by exiting stage left kind of thing and saying, oh yeah, that just means that there's something in me that I still need to get a little bit more control over as to why that person is being an asshole to me, right? There's something that I need to look at within me that actually ended up attracting, like, for example, you might be a little bit too trusting, okay? A little bit too trusting. And I'm not saying you are, this is an example, a little bit too trusting. So therefore, whenever anyone comes across your path, you give them the benefit of the doubt right away. And then people like that who are unscrupulous are going, aha, I got my next victim kind of thing, right? So it's just kind of, that's another part of being emotionally in control, is to know, to be discerning, to know who to trust and when to trust. Okay. Got the Ace of Pentacles, great big blessing. Page of Wands, hip hip hooray, yippee, good news. The Moon, mystery. Now let's see, the Lovers, Two of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Four of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Two of Cups, Empress, second time, Empress, Nine of Cups, wow, great energy. Near future, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, Death, we got the Five of Swords and the Emperor, Death and the Star. Yeah. So let's see, I'm going to put this over here like this. So Libra, you have to go within. You're being asked to go within to get, to find a way to stabilize your fears, to stabilize your fears. The fear of being taken advantage of, the fear of being manipulated, the fear of being rejected, the fear of being hurt, just plain hurt, like left alone, abandoned by your person. Because what I see here is we've got the Lovers, we've got the Four of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Empress, the Nine of Cups, and the Emperor, with the Eight of Cups, and then Death and Transformation. Okay, so you have to find a way, with the help of your inner guide, which is of course your wounded child, or your healing wounded child, your soul, okay, who is growing and expanding as a result of your experiences, life experiences, most specifically that deals with the pain of the heart, romantic hurt. Okay, so you've got the divine's assistance. The divine is wanting to help you out here, bringing justice into your experience. The divine is going to help you bring balance to what it is that you've been afraid to put out there, to just release, not release, but to reveal yourself, expand your love for yourself, that then allows you to open up to others. So that's where the Ace of Pentacles come from. This is kind of like the offering of a new mindset with the Pentacles. Okay, the new mindset that is good news in the sense that it's positive. It's positive information or positive thinking that's bringing in information that's going to be positive in return. You're going to start seeing what is being hidden from you in respect to, because the moon is about fears, okay, because things are hidden. deep emotional fears, deep emotional scars that have to do with romantic love. There is somebody that you're in love with, or obviously in a relationship with already, but in love with, or not in a relationship already, but in love with, or you have been, but you're in love with them. Where you are, you don't know what to do because you're in a place where this is all too real, this is all too painful, this is all too, I don't know what to do, and you get so angry at times, so upset at times that you want to just say, I'm not doing anything. F it, right? I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna hold on to what I got, because I value myself, or at least I value being happy without being sitting in pain. I value not, and it might not be to the point, Libra, where you're saying I value myself, or I value not being in pain, or I value being happy. It might be just that you value not being in a position where you're facing this person or dealing with something this person has said or done or hasn't said or done, and making you feel really bad, angry, angry and upset, and just disappointed in your person. Yeah, so you've got the fears of what is what you're not certain of, fears of what could be. I don't know what could be. I don't know what could be. I'm not there yet. Like, I don't know what could be. So it's a matter of I mean, how do we even consider what I don't know, what could be? And it's confusing, but it's new information that you're receiving in the way of, because I said that the divine is helping you by implanting, like, inspiring thoughts in your head that are saying to you, you deserve better than this. You deserve better than this, and so you shall have it. And that is what a Queen of Cups would say if she were to be facing some kind of challenge with someone that may wish to not treat her the way she deserves to be treated. She would say, I know I deserve better than this, and so it shall be. And that's what this is like. It's like, Libra, you're saying that to yourself. These thoughts are coming into your mind, and it's like foreign language to you, because you may have never been raised to even give that thought any moment of entertainment in your mind, that I am worthy of being treated properly, and so it shall be. It's one thing to say, I'm worthy of being treated properly, but it's another thing to be able to go further than that and say, and so it shall be. Like, that's you saying, this is what it's going to be like from now on, come hell or high water, and so it shall be. Right? I deserve to be treated better than this, and so it shall be. I deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, and so it shall be. And so this is like, this kind of language is a mystery to you. It's the type of language that you're not used to hearing yourself entertain in your mind. But you always have choices, right? So there's a choice of either allowing yourself to sit in the energy that is not going to produce very many positive outcomes for you, or changing things so that if you do love this person and you want to be with them, they are your emperor to you, then you have to do some, you have to start performing some mental miracles, basically. And it's absolutely doable. Absolutely doable. It's just a matter of practice. That's all it is. It's habit forming. Because what we've done is we've already formed a habit of not really considering the positive, what is the positive meaning? What's the energy behind I deserve better than this and so it shall be? What is that actually, what am I actually saying? I'm saying that I'm worthy of being respected and loved. I'm worthy of it, and so I am. I am lovable. I respect myself. I am, I am a compassionate, gentle person, or I am, even if I'm not much of a compassionate, gentle person, I deserve to be loved just like anybody else. It doesn't mean just because I'm me that I don't deserve to be loved. So when you start thinking that like that, I deserve to be loved, that's one thing, like I said, but then you take that step further and it says, and so it shall be. That's you saying, that's the way it's going to be. That is just the way it's going to be from now on. I'm not going to take any bullpucky from anyone else, whether I love them or not. And so it shall be. So that's the decision you've got to make, is and not be sitting in that energy of fear, of mystery, of having these thoughts coming into your mind, because the divine is helping you sort through this challenge for you right now, Libra. It is about you saying, I'm going to rip off my blindfold, because you've got a blindfold on, and I'm going to untangle myself from these crows that are trying to tie me up and keep me from being able to move forward in my mental processes, right? And so you're going to make a decision. When this card shows up in your reading, it's all about making a decision. No longer sitting on the fence and saying, I'm not going to make a decision. I'm just going to, see how it pans out, without really much of my effort at all. And your effort on your part, Libra, is to actually start making mental changes. That's your effort, to start thinking in different patterns of thought, as opposed to, maybe whenever someone says something hurtful to you, the underlying thought that comes into your, like the background of your mind, which is that operating system on your computer, it's always running there, always. And we're operating from that. That thought that comes up, that's come up a million times already in your lifetime, that might say, I'm not enough. I'm obviously not enough, right? This person is telling me that something that makes me feel as though they don't love me. It must be because I'm not enough. That background belief, I'm not enough. Who taught you that? Well, we basically teach ourselves that, because unless someone actually tells you as you're growing up that you were not enough, they actually tell you that, or they behave in ways that literally tell you, without them saying it, that whatever their behaviors are is saying that you're not enough. But if it's never corrected, that if it's never said to you and it's never corrected by the people that are actually, you're actually perceiving this to be the truth from, if they don't correct it, then you're going to go into your adulthood believing that to be true about you. Even though you've left childhood behind and all that stuff behind, that operating system has now been set in place, and that is what we operate from in adulthood. To not correct it, we continue to, it's a belief. We may not entertain it, may not think about it much, right? It's all that mystery stuff, but it's there nonetheless. This is your operating system. And so we have to determine to have a look at it and say, you might be holding back and say, I'm holding back because obviously everyone or this person thinks I'm not enough. So I'll just hold on to what I've got. I'll hold on to what I've got. I'll just pull back. I'll pull back and not do anything. And then, because the person that is saying these things to you or behaving in this way is disappointing you very badly. But the fourth cup here is always the divine bringing something in that you just don't quite see yet. And if the divine is here, which he is here helping you change your mindset, there's definitely a cup of love coming in. Yep, There definitely is that you don't see, because the divine's working on your behalf, helping you. Because the divine wants to see you happy. He wants to see you feeling fulfilled and quite happy in your life. All right, so the idea is now you've got to work hard. The Eight of Pentacles, you got to work hard on your pentacles, right? Which in this case is like a mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, a mindset. This is a set of 8. It's a mindset. So you're going to master that, is what this is saying. Work hard and you will master it, and so you shall be, right? Page of Swords, information, messages are going to come to you as a result of you changing, your thought, your belief systems. I call it the tweak strategy, or the tweak process, or the tweak effect, is that you tweak your thoughts. Just tweak them. Don't make a massive change from going you're this and doing a 180, because we don't necessarily believe it. If we do it too fast or too much at one time, we don't believe it's possible. Like, for example, we want to believe that we'll have $1 million in our bank account by this time next month. Well, that's a pretty big leap. And you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because this time next month comes, and then not long from now, time is moving pretty fast these days. It's going to come along and it's going to show you that you don't have $1 million in your account. It's too big of a leap, because you just can't hang on to that belief. Because during the time from now until next month from now, you've been having a whole lot of thoughts of doubt. And like, yeah, sure, that's going to happen. No, how's that going to come? All these questions. How, unless somebody dies and gives me $1 million, how's that possibly going to show up? It's not just going to materialize out of the air. Well, it does, but it's going to come through an avenue of something that has meaning in your life, like has a purpose in your life. Someone in some way, like inheritance, right? Someone died, so someone who you're close to leaves you $1 million. Yes, that's very possible. Or you go out and you buy a lottery ticket, or you find you just come across a suitcase full of $1 million. I mean, that's how these things have to come into our lives. It's not a matter of it just like having a tree out back and suddenly all these leaves turn into $100 bills or $1,000 bills, right? And fall to the ground, and it's yours because it's in your backyard. So you just have to tweak things. So for example, if you're saying something like, I'm not enough, if that's your background operating system, saying I'm not enough, saying what if you tweak it by saying, you ask yourself a question, well, but what if I am enough? Now it's a question. It's a question with, like a sincere question. Well, but what if I'm not, what if I am enough, right? It's not like I am enough. Going from I must not be enough to I am enough. It's going like from not being enough to feeling like saying like, I'm just like slightly past that, saying that's the tweak, right? Just slightly. I'm not flipped all the way to 180. Well, we're going to be 190 degrees. I don't know what it is, but we're going to be saying, but what if I am enough? So start playing with that. What if I am enough? Keep saying to yourself, but what if I am enough? What if I am enough? And so it shall be. What if I am enough? And so it shall be. Okay, so that's like your new strategy of tweaking. With the information, see these light bulbs here? She's hanging on to what would be like a gaggle of balloons. I don't know what you call a bunch of balloons. Yeah, higher with the helium in them. Yeah, it's like balloons, but these are light bulbs, so they're ideas, they're thoughts, ideas of, but what if I am enough? And so it shall be. And then next thing you know is like, next tweak would be somewhere down the road, maybe if you do this for a week or two, or maybe a month, or however long you feel you need to be doing it for. You'll feel it, because the divine's helping you. You'll feel when it's time to move to the next tweak. And the next tweak would be from what if I am enough to I'm starting to feel like I'm enough. And then it'd be like later on, I'm starting to feel like I am more than enough. And you're going like that. It's a step-by-step process. You want to tweak it. You don't want to do the big flip because you're never going to believe it and you're going to always doubt it. Okay? So then, what if I believe, what if I am enough, this one? Then the next week is, I'm starting to feel like I am enough. And then the next week is, I'm starting to feel like I'm more than enough. And then the next week is, God dang it, I am way more than enough than anyone has ever seen me to be. And so it shall be. And then, bada bing, this person either steps into your life, or it's someone that, you know, because you love them, you're in a relationship maybe with them, like I said, or you're not, and you'd like to be, and, or, you know, that kind of thing. This person comes in to work with you because they see the value in you. They start to see the value in you. They see that you are way more than enough, more than anyone needs. And so it shall be. There. Now you're like in their eyes as the Empress because you are in that energy. You're making yourself vulnerably available because you've got a new way of thinking about yourself, of perceiving yourself or seeing yourself through the eyes of others possibly, but you're actually seeing yourself as being someone who is worthy of being loved, and so it shall be. You are worthy of being respected and loved and treated with dignity and kindness, and so it shall be. So this is like you're changing, you know, your thought system with the help of the divine, inspiring thoughts in your mind, making you see what it is that you hadn't been seeing, that's a mystery to you because you didn't realize the operating system that you've been running on with this belief from childhood that maybe you're not enough. Lovers has been bringing this conundrum of challenges into your life that you've been like, I don't know why I'm having this experience. So therefore I'm so confused. I don't know how to look at it, so I'm not even going to bother. I can't understand it, so how do I make sense out of it, right? So why bother? It kind of like it paralyzes you, it ties you up, keeps you from being able to move forward. You stay stuck, hanging on to whatever you've gotten in your mind. It's whatever little I have left of me. Disappointed in love, by the way, with that cup you don't see yet, which is this one here. Working hard, changing your mindset through the tweak process. You find love again. The Empress, this is you like giving life to more experiences, more of your life experiences, being treated with love, kindness, gentleness, compassion, and you are more than enough than anyone needs. That someone is this someone here, the Emperor. Okay, so 9 of Cups, you're starting to feel emotionally fulfilled, which is something that again would be quite foreign to you. Emotionally content in your own skin, with or without anyone, because you're starting to say nice things to yourself. That's self-love, that's self-care. You're starting to love yourself. And so why wouldn't you? Are in the Empress energy. You're receiving justice here. Things are balancing out for you. Things are going to go slow, but you are walking not only away from an emotional investment of that operating system belief that what if I'm not enough? You're walking away from that, taking it slow, taking with you what you're starting to learn about yourself, and maybe just the whole process, the tweaking process. As you can see, like the first step, second step, third step, fourth step, or, you know, first step, second step, third step, tweak, that kind of thing, right? You're taking it slow, but you always, the King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles always finishes successfully. He's the turtle, finishes the finish line, or crosses the finish line. So you're crossing the finish line, you're leaving behind the operating system belief that has been tripping you up all of your, you know, your adult life to this point. And you're now seeing how you have planted seeds of much better thinking. Because we're thinking this is all mindset stuff. It's not about money. This is all mindset stuff. Look at all the great thoughts about yourself that you decided to put in the soil, to bury in your mind, to put it in there, like to become you. It's like wiping the hard drive of the computer. Now you can put a new operating system in onto your hard drive, if that's how it works. I don't know, but let's just go with that, right? So you are installing a new operating system that is all about you being way better, more than enough for anyone, even yourself. If you ever had to think about yourself, I'm way more than enough even for myself. I look, what's that song? I look sexy in my blah 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 blah. Oh God, sexy in my clothes or something, like, I don't know what it is, but you know the song I'm talking about. Is that Eminem that sings it? I'm not sure. But in any case, you have planted a new garden of a mindset. See, the seven here. It's a set, just like the 8 was a set. You have planted a new mindset that says, I'm growing into a person that I deserve to be, because I believe myself to be it, right? Believe yourself into reality. Believe yourself into reality. That's you starting to grow, really grow now. But you got a lot of good stuff down here nourishing your roots. You're going to grow. Look how big those roots are. You're going to grow. You're growing into a big tree. Okay? And that's the change and transformation that you're going to be receiving. That you're going to feel like you're going to have a headache from it. You can have a headache. So this 5 of Swords is like, you're going to do whatever it takes for you to win. And this is not about hurting others. This is about you seeing you're seeing the sharp end of the sword facing you, like face on like this. You're seeing it like as if to say, I'm facing my worst fears. Right there. I'm facing my worst fears, the very point of the sharp truth that could, basically kill me, if it ran into your head, kill you. But it's those thoughts, it's those mindset, it's that mindset, it's those operating system that is always would always be a threat to you, to basically not kill you, okay, but it's going to keep you restricted and limited to the point where you may never really find great love, true love in your life, because you haven't found it in yourself. If that was the path you're going on, right, until you reach the witch's cottage. But justice prevails, and it says here, you're going to do whatever you need to do. I don't care if you're going to have a headache from it. You're going to do whatever you need to do. You just are going to take all those thoughts, and you're going to take them, because this guy, he wins. He takes all the swords. You're going to take all those thoughts, and you're going to put them to, you're going to put them in that tweaking process, that machine, whatever it is, that machine that strategically gets you thinking this and then this and then this and then this. Yeah, the tweaking strategy. You're going to put it into that. It's like a mill. You're going to run it through it. You're going to run those swords through it, and they're going to come out different. They're not going to come out as swords anymore. They're going to come out as like hearts, the shape of beautiful red hearts. They're going to come out like that. And this guy here, being your wish fulfillment, yep, he's stepping up to the plate. He sees you being very, very valuable, not like being value. They see value in you. They love you. They adore you. They just want to be in your life. They want to be part of your life. They want you in their life. The Emperor energy. So the two of you are like to the point where you're so in love that the two of you might be making each other spouses, if you're not already a spouse to this guy. So you're going to get married. All right? And this is like happily ever after, wish come true. You actually stepped into the energy, you and your guy, well, you in particular, because you're making this happen with the changes you're making in your mind. You're stepping into that energy that lines you up with your vortex, with the wish that's granted of you having that big love, that true love experience, that you're not going to go through the rest of your life kind of skimming past that world, that parallel world that is your wish fulfillment, which I call the vortex, or Abraham, the group called Abraham, the Esther Hicks channels. So the vortex, where everything that you have ever dreamt about having, like thinking that I would love to have that, you send off a rocket of desire to it, and it makes it happen, because it's all in the ether. It's coalescing, right? And so every rocket of desire you have that you send off into the ethers, it goes into your vortex, which is this parallel universe that you have to get your universe or your world aligned with, so that your aura, your world, can engage with that aura. It's not so different vibrationally, it's not so different that the two of you would just be ships passing in the night. You'd never know of each other. No, because you're you're finding the ability to control your emotions and to be more comfortable through the tweak process, to make yourself more available, more vulnerably available, because you've got an ace in the hole, knowing that you're going to, you're not all weirded out anymore as much as you were, because through the tweak process, you're starting to believe in yourself and wiping out that hard drive of maybe I'm not enough, to I am way more than enough than any one person needs, right? So you're aligning into that energy as the Empress here, which is fair. This is so fair for you. The divine says it's fair, it's just for you. From what you've been through, it's fair and just for you. You're aligned to that. Now you are actually not two ships with your parallel universes or worlds. You are actually coming together with your vortex, your wish fulfillment. This is a wish granted already. The divine has granted it for you. It's there. It's out there. If you want to say out there, it's out there, but you've got to get your sphere of influence, your frequency, your vibration at the same level of that one, and that's a big vibration. Okay, it is this kind of vibration. So because it's all those things that are like, I'd love to have $10 million. Well, that's a lot of energy. $10 million is $1 bill is energy. You get 10 million of that, and see how much energy, what the high frequency vibration is that you've got to get yourself into, to be aligned with that, so that you could actually attract $10 million into your life. But in this case, we're talking about love. So you want big love, you want true love, and that's a big vibration. That's another big vibration. So you've got to get you mentally and emotionally aligned with that really high vibrating experience of big love, true love. Okay, so I hope that this was very helpful to you, Libra, and you're well on your way. Just don't stop. Keep going. Keep working the tweak process. Take care of yourself. Wipe that operating system, and please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye for now.